Hello guys. So I hope you guys are all doing great. So right now, first of all, I would like to start with the testing of the functionalities that we created. So right now I'm just calling some functions. Okay. So how to call a functions, how to access a functions, as we already discussed, we need to make use of the player object. Right now I want to test out the get health functionality of my player. So I am just see outing one statement, the value of the player health, basically the player health is. So right now you should know that, like, right now I am accessing this function outside the class, and as it is a public I can access it. Okay, so see out, I am writing inside, when the game got started I am writing out see out the player health is player object dot get health. Okay, let's quickly test it out. Okay, so S to start the game, and I'm pressing S, I'm pressing enter. So yeah, unfortunately on Hollow Knight, yeah, like I guess that story is like already done. Hey, hi, my name is Letho and all the stuff. And yeah, like after the player introduction, the player health is 100 plus S to start the game, and press any key to exit. So I am using the end L functionality here as well. I just forgot that. And L, so that should be it. After that, I want to test out the take damage functionality. I am quickly testing it out using players object dot, I would say, take damage, and I am passing the damage of 50 as of now. Okay, player object of give damage. Give damage is nothing but giving the damage, right? So it is not like taking something in as a parameter. Okay, so make sure that you are following all the things right now. So player object dot healing. So yeah, like get health, and these three are the core functionalities that we have created for the player. Right now I'm going to test them all in one. Okay, press S to start. I am pressing the S and starting. Cool, I am pressing S. I guess this is up for the introduction. Again, you can beautify the output like by adding some horizontal lines, as I did it here. So this is the end of player introduction. The player health is 100. Oh no, a critical hit. That means our player is right now taking up the damage, and our function is perfectly working. Where is the take damage? Yeah, this functionality is correctly happening. Here you can see enemy is dealing damage of 50 to Letho. There is actually a space required. So this is how you can fix up the errors in your console. Yeah, take damage. Yeah, enemy is performing, okay, 2. I need to add the space after the damage and before the 2. So to the Letho, okay, Letho's current health after receiving damage is 50, because if you remember, like our health of the player is 100. Right now our enemy is dealing the damage of 50, so obviously subtraction of 100 minus 50 will be 50. Okay, after that I am performing the heal operation. Okay, Letho healed with HP of 8. Here you can see the randomization has taken into place. Letho health after healing is 58. Okay, I'm gonna quickly test it out for the randomization again. Is my health is randomly generated or not? So I'm just pressing S. So here you can see Letho healed with the HP of 10 here in this time. So you can clearly see the randomization is working. Again, the space is missing. So I hope like you guys are smart enough to add the spaces here and there to beautify your output. Okay, so it is clear that our player functionality is completely done. So what we need to do is, just like a player class, I am gonna quickly set up the enemy class. Okay, so I am saying, okay, this is a constructor I am writing inside the player class. So I'm just collapsing it in the inside the REPL. You can do it as well. So I'm just I have just collapsed the class of player. So I'm just creating class of enemy, and right now I'm gonna go super fast. because I'm gonna simply copy paste these functions, these variables inside my enemy. Why? Because obviously enemy will also have the health, enemy will also have the max health, min damage, max damage, and maximum healing and minimum healing, right? So I guess enemy will not heal. I will make it as like only damage related enemy. After that, enemy I am creating give damage and take damage and not the healing. So I'm just copying these two functions from the player class to the enemy class. So inside public access modifier, I need to copy paste these two functionalities. So I guess that should be it. Inside enemy, I have take damage. The damage is same. As we have like exact same name, it should work. So give damage will also have the exact same thing. So enemies max damage and mean damage you can change, you can play around these numbers. That should be it. Like you can experiment all these things on your own. So yeah, my enemy have right now, like I'm just collapsing everything to avoid the confusion here, because the code is becoming like very huge. So I'm right now focusing on only enemy class. My enemy has private variables like health, max damage, min damage, uh, public functionalities, two public functionalities of take damage and give damage. I also need to add one more functionality of get health as well. So because obviously we need to access the health of the enemy outside the class, right? Inside the enemy, inside the player, I need to copy paste the get health functionality, as simple as that. So again I am collapsing it down, and again I am just collapsing it. This is the class, entire class is getting collapsed right now, and under the public I am writing get health. So all three functionalities are done for our enemy: get health, take damage, and give damage. That should be it. Right now what I will do, I need to set up the constructor as well for the enemy. That's what I missed. Okay, so first of all, how to write a constructor? Obviously you cannot copy paste the constructor of the player here. So I'm just creating a constructor for the enemy. Obviously I will be writing the exact same name as the class, that is enemy, and opening and closing curly brackets, no return types, nothing. Under the public, writing the same name as class name, and our constructor is done. Again you can write some introduction. Ha ha ha, I am the king, I am the lord of darkness, something like that, and you can have some introduction here. So I'm just ending this. Definitely feel free to add all the variables here, like introduce the health of the enemy, maximum damage, min damage inside the cout statements. I am putting it very simple as of now, to just get a hang of, okay, our constructor has been called. Okay, to just test out that I have added only one line. You can add as much as story as you want in your game. So I guess constructor is done, get health is done, take damage is done, give damage is done, and I guess our entire enemy class is done. So I'm collapsing it as well. Again I'm expanding the main functionality. So I'm just erasing these out, the test functionalities. So when the game will start, obviously I need to create an object of a player as well as object of the enemy. So how to create an object of an enemy? Just like a player class, you need to follow the same syntax. You need to write enemy, that is nothing but the class name, and enemy object, obj. So our enemy functionality is done. So let's, okay, this is also the testing functionality that we added. So if you look at our main function, what we are simply doing is, inside main we are writing a do while loop. Only when the user is pressing S, our player will get created and enemy will get created, as simple as that. And if user is pressing anything else, we are going out of our game. So let's quickly test out some of the functionalities of the enemy object, enemy class basically, that we have created. Enemy object dot get health, and I would say just end it and see out enemy. Okay, I'm writing the wrong syntax. Enemy health. I just basically replicated the functionalities to the enemy. That's why I just went super fast. You can do it on your own as well. I would recommend, just do not watch this video and just try to replicate all the functionalities. Okay, so enemy health, right now I'm using the enemy health, and I'm gonna only test out the randomization of the healing. Okay, here there is no healing, right? So yeah, that should be it. Okay, give damage, take damage. Okay, inside give damage we haven't written any see out message. That we can improve actually. See out, enemy is performing hit of random damage, and I can say that to the player. Okay, by saying this I can write a simple console message. So inside enemy, obviously enemy will perform the give damage, right? That's why I written message like this: enemy is performing a hit of random damage that we are calculating, and whom we are applying to the damage, like to the player, right? So same thing I will simply write under the class of the player, under the give damage functionality. I am just collapsing the take damage functionality. Same line I am copy pasting, but right now I am replacing player is performing hit of random damage to the enemy. So that is the power of object oriented programming. When you have like written the logic somewhere else, it is really easy to replicate the logic by changing some here, by changing some small details of your implementation. Okay, so yeah, like I just added some debug log for the player giving damage as well. Okay, so I'm just collapsing everything. Okay, this is the constructor that we have collapsed. So get health, take damage, give damage. Right now I want to test the ability of the randomized give damage. Okay, so I would say enemy object dot give damage, as simple as that. The rest of the things will be taken care by the functionality itself. You just only need to write this. So as soon as you are writing this, the control of the program will come to here, like process the random number and will apply our damage to the, like, and basically return the random damage. And before that it will also see out something, so that like user will also get to know that okay, by this this is how like the enemy is performing a hit to me. Okay, let's quickly run our code for the enemy, and I guess we are all done. Like the next and final step is like creating a battle loop that we will do in the next chapter. Okay, so let's see all the story part, then the Lethos introduction, and enemy health is 100, enemy is performing, okay, wait, ha ha ha, I am the lord of darkness. Okay, my spelling is wrong here, but yeah, like this, till this line the constructor is getting called. After that enemy health is 100, and again I forgot end L. So again our get health functionality is working superbly. Then enemy is performing hit of 29 to the player. Okay, let's test out the randomization in the next run. How much will that be a number? Okay, okay, here you can see the enemy is performing the hit of 20 to the player. Okay, easily you can test out our randomization is working really smooth. You can correlate this functionality with the games like Shadow Fight, where sometimes you give damage to your opponent and the random damage is getting applied to the opponent. So this is the best implementation of a random fighting games. In most of the fighting games your damage is random, right? So this is how they have implemented it. So I will quickly, yeah, like anyways these are nothing but the test functionalities. Right now I am removing them. So our core responsibility of the next chapter will be creating the battle loop. Okay, player is pressing something and then player will be attacking the enemy, enemy will be receiving damage, then enemy will be again attacking the player and all the stuff. So battle loop will be the core responsibility of the next chapter, and by this way our entire game loop will end with the help of battle loop. Okay, so see you in the next chapter. Bye bye.